Hey everyone, what's going on? My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. If you like making money, subscribe to the channel. We look at a lot of undervalued assets. We're looking for opportunities that are once, twice, three times, something like that in a person's life. These are long-term investments. I would say typically 10 to 20 years, something like that, 8 to 15, somewhere in that range, where we can find these large opportunities. For right now, it's in commodities. And we do that pricing an asset versus an asset and looking at history. So today we're going to look at a market update. This is technical analysis. I'm going to work some physics into it just to have some fun. So this is a market update, doing some TA on a Thursday. So technical analysis, I'm going to tie physics and charting together. So in this update, we're going to look for that. Think of a ball bouncing over time as it approaches equilibrium. In the beginning, you've got potential energy. You drop the ball. You get the thing in motion. It's got some kinetic energy. It bounces a couple of times, and eventually it reaches an equilibrium where the velocity is zero. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the buyers to equal the sellers over time, and I equate that to velocity. You have large imbalances when the velocities are great, and you have an equilibrium when the velocities and buyers and sellers equal each other. So this is a ball that's bouncing, just to show you. You've got the picture of this ball. It's overlapping because the velocity is accelerating and it overlaps less. Then it creates a gap as it's accelerating down, hits the ground, the velocity changes. It's going from a downward velocity to an upward. And this momentum has changed. We go back up. We pause at a velocity of zero at the top. We've got lots of overlap here as the velocity converges to zero. And then it goes and speeds back up. And then you can see it go up and down. And the velocity is very slow over here. That's the buyers equaling the sellers. That's what we look for in chart patterns. And I can show you in some of the charts what that looks like. Another thing. Power. Power is what I look for. Power is the amount of energy transferred or converted per unit time. So that's energy converted per unit time. Candlestick length, in my opinion, is an equivalent of power because it is a distance per unit of time. It means it's a measurement of energy. Looking for power in charts, it takes time to work off power, or it is a turning point. And sometimes I interchange power and momentum. Power is when things get moving. They've got very large candlestick body lengths. And when they get moving, they have momentum or velocity. So that's what we're looking for. And power is what I look for in the beginning of a move. And I'll show you that in some of these charts. Now, I want you guys to know things before it happens. I want you to look for the indications, the candlesticks, the momentum, the slowing, like something's going to happen. And it's like a runner about to run a race. You see them do a whole bunch of things before they actually start running. They dynamically warm up. They jump up and down. They crouch into position. They put their feet on the blocks. They transfer power through their feet and legs right into those blocks. And velocity goes from zero to max speed during this race if it's a short-term sprint. And again, max acceleration's at the beginning. So we can see this stuff. We can see the power. We can see the velocity. We can see all these things in charts. We can see it. So let's look using all this stuff, and I'm going to describe a chart that I'm looking at. So here's the trade desk, or trade desk. TTD is a technology company, and I just want to show you something. When we are coming up, you're seeing these large down days kind of all interjected throughout. And you can see the up days starting to lose momentum. That's why the candlestick body lengths, the opening and closing prices are starting to equal each other more and more and more as this thing comes on up. Sure, there's a couple of patterns that have a little bit of a candlestick, but they're really starting to outweigh. The small up days are outweighing, and you're starting to see large down days. Then all of a sudden, the stock got hit on its head, is what I call it. Boom, smoked down. Came on down, and there's no buyers to answer on anything. Small up days, nothing in relationship to the size of this big down day. So it's coming up, it's going across. We have lots of contracted bodies they've got the opening and closing price is roughly the same. That's what the contracted body when I say that. The velocity is 0. So think of these things as bouncing. It comes down, and your velocity is your opening and closing price of each candlestick. And it's the momentum of the move. So you've got this big move here, pops up a little bit, smaller move, it's about to bounce up a little bit, bounces up, and this is all it has to muster. The velocity is 0 right here. It's a dead period. But remember, it started with a big, powerful move downward. This is a big, powerful move here. The sellers are in control. They smoked this to the downside in a very short period of time. The buyers have nothing and no response. You hit this velocity of 0, which means the buyers equal the sellers, but you're at a net loss from here to here. This is a lower high. And then boom, sellers come back. Buyers bring this thing up, wishing and hoping that they can move this thing higher, and the sellers step in and smoke it. We get a reverse candlestick with the wick on the bottom. Comes back up. But look, the candlesticks have no power. They have no answer for it. So what you're looking at is you're seeing these very small up days where the sellers are weighing on the stock. You have this powerful move here. You have another powerful move here. And guess what happens? More power to the downside. Now, if you watch this thing go across, you've got a big move here. You've got a big move here, and it's contracting a little bit, just a little bit. And then you've got this move up. It took 3 moves up to get the distance of one down candlestick. I think this is going to continue lower. You have a pattern that looks like this black candlestick. It has a higher open price. It closed lower, but it was still an up day. Momentum's to the downside. We've got large power coming down with not much power or energy moving it up. So I would be bearish on this until we see a reversal pattern. Now, this is a tech company. I'm not too worried. I don't own it. I used to own it, but I don't. Not anymore. And I think it's going to go lower. But looking at the power, the momentum, the velocity, who's in control of this, it looks like a topping pattern to me. That's what I see. Now, SM Energy, a little bit different. You can kind of see this is one big move, a little less of a move, little less. It's kind of contracting up here. We're going to go into a sideways chopping action. We're going sideways. Now, on this pullback here, we had a large down sell-off, but the buyers came right back and answered. Boom, this is oversold. Boom, we responded. Smaller down days, smaller down day. This is probably a reversal point. We pushed up 2 small down days in the size of one big up day, and the momentum is changing to the upside on this stock. Looks like it wants to go higher. So that's looking good. And I'm going to bounce around here in different companies. This is Rare Element Resources. We're in this pattern here. But what I want you to focus on is power. Look at the power. This is a weekly candlestick, not that it really matters, but see these big up days, and then the small down days are just kind of coming back. And you see this pattern it creates. Large 3 weeks up, and then we go sideways. Big pop higher, sideways. Big pop higher. And then the slow leak off of sellers, pop higher. All of these up days or up weeks are very large in relationship to the down days. It means that the energy is to the upside, the momentum, the velocity. It's all going up. You look over here, bunch of small little down days. Then boom, it hit this bottom trend line. And then boom, big up day, or big up week. Small pullback, big up weeks, small pullback, big up weeks, and we've got a small pullback here. Maybe we leak down a little bit more. Maybe we don't. Maybe we break the upside of this channel. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have a crystal ball, but what I can tell you is the velocity and momentum is to the upside. The buyers are in control of this stock. Now, zooming in on this, just for a daily perspective, this actually looks really good to go up. We've got nice big moves up, sideways, big moves up, sideways, big moves up, sideways, and then the slow leak off of sellers, bullish engulfing, 1, 2, 3, 4 down days, sideways inside of this candlestick body. I think it's going to go up, REEMF. looking great. It's a rare earth metal. Roku, looking at this from the downside. Lots of momentum coming down. Not much buyers. No response. Coming down. 3 little up days. Black candlestick. I think this is going to head lower. It's going to head lower. Doesn't look too good. EMX royalties. This one, we were kind of in a battle here. Came out to the downside. Going down. Reversal pattern. Big up day. Big powerful move today. Looking fantastic. The buyers are coming in. We're seeing the power and energy in these stocks come into them. The buyers are there. They're buying them up. This is a EMX, a royalty company with copper and gold. Franco-Nevada. What do you see there? So what I proposed in some of my earlier videos doing market updates, if you look at this point right here in March, I said something changed. Something changed here. Look at down here. We've got all these big down days, big down days, big down days, big down days. I was hoping this would be a turning point here. Nope. Down days, down days. Then you see a big, large up day. Bam, smacks it on its head. Came up, big up day, big up day. Contracted down, the sellers have nothing. Big up day, small pullback. Boom, we're shooting higher. Looking fantastic. Looking fantastic. So anybody who owns Franco-Nevada, good job. Good job. This is on a weekly candlestick. It's a little bit easier to see when you look at weekly candlesticks sometimes. If you look back here, big up days all through here, small pullback. Big up days, and then the slow leak out of sellers. That's what we want to see. Then the big moves are coming right now. The big moves are coming. So we're probably at the beginning of a large move in some of these royalty companies. This is fantastic. And again, I own a lot of this stuff. So I pay close attention to it. This is a different one. We're switching gears to copper. This is Global X Copper Miners. You can see that right here we had a step change. If you look for the large candlesticks. Look for the momentum changes. Momentum change. Boom, hit on its head. Comes down. Came back up. No answer by the buyers. Boom, comes back down. We're coming back up. We're fighting. Boom, comes back down. But now this could still head lower because we don't have a lot of the buyers there. I'm not seeing it yet. We came up, we popped back up here, but we've got a down candlestick. So this could potentially maybe do a shoulder head. We come up for a shoulder and then come back down for a little bit more and offer maybe a little bit better buying opportunity. Now, I do not sell my stocks. I do not sell them. When you have valuations this cheap, you hold on. You do not sell. And the reason you don't sell is because news can come out. Something can come out that just blows these charts up. An index starts buying something. Anything can happen. All right. So what I do is I hold on and I look for buying opportunities to cost average in with income. That's what I do. This is uranium. Now here's something to look at. If you kind of look here, we had a pullback here, and then we have a smaller pullback. Maybe we pop up. We might see maybe a day or two pullback. Just a small little down day, and then move on up. That's kind of what I'm expecting. It looks like the momentum's changing here because this is a pretty big up day. So we had momentum here, and then less momentum. And then we're going to have probably no momentum almost, like a sideways move here. And then we'll eventually, I think, move on higher. This is Lightbridge, and what I did here is I showed you what that momentum kind of looks like. The red line's the downward momentum, the green line's the upward momentum. You can see the momentum starting to slow down and contract. It's contracting on the downward move here. It's contracting on the upward move here. So they're contracting up, and I think we'll probably have a little bit more sideways action before this thing launches. That's my guess. So be patient. If you own Lightbridge, just hold on. That's all you have to do. Now, looking at it from a weekly perspective, just to give you a little bit better perspective and picture, you get the large move up in a very short period of time. Remember, power, energy over time. So it's very powerful. Big distance moved over a very short period of time, and then the slow leak off of sellers. We have a higher low. You need to pay attention to all of this. It all matters. So we've got another big move higher very quickly, and then we've got the slow leak off of sellers. And I bet you it's going to contract and probably end very soon, and we're going to have this higher low stepping up, and eventually we're going to go and move to the upside. That's my guess, because we can see that volume stepping in, people are accumulating this. We've got very good power to the upside, and the sellers are a lot less powerful than the buyers. We can see it in the candlesticks. We can see it in the chart. Here's XLE. Again, I'm going to show you what I see a difference. So we're coming up, and then we kind of hit a top here. We came back down. And right here, this day right here, this bullish engulfing day, this one that engulfs this one, it popped up. 3 little small down days. Looks like we want to go higher. That is a change. It went from a downtrend. It stopped, popped up, 3 little pullback, going to move on up. That's what I see. So it looks very good. XLE looks great to go to the upside. Base load. Base load's looking fantastic on a long-term perspective on a weekly chart. Big move higher, absolute rocket ship, small sell-off. Big move higher, small sell-off. I would be looking to purchase here very shortly because you can see the momentum's flattening out. It's looking very nice. We've got a nice large up week, 2 small down days, or I should say 2 small down weeks. Probably going to see this reverse at some point soon. Nova Royalty, a little bit different picture here. We came on up, bearish engulfing. Then you can see we're going to the downside. I'm looking at it from a bearish perspective at this point on. Because as you come up, there's no buyers here to push and answer this bearish engulfing here. Bearish engulfing, no answer. We're going down, going down, going down. If this closes lower, I think we are going to head a little bit lower. I can't wait to buy Nova Royalty. I haven't purchased anything since the first couple times I bought it. I bought it down here, and I've been waiting ever since. I've been wanting to add in, but I want to buy it somewhere, I don't know, down here. I'm getting greedy. But I did buy a lot, so, well, not a ton, but a good amount. Not too bad. Wheat and precious metals on a weekly basis. Big move higher, pullback. Big move higher, small leak off of sellers, no answer. Big move up, small little pullback. I think this is going to go on higher. This is looking fantastic to move to the upside. Sandstorm Gold, same thing. Notice the big move up, the slow leak off of sellers, the broken downtrend, the big move up, small pullback, wick on the bottom. It's going to go up. That's my take on it. And EEM, big move up, and then this nice little contraction down, bullish engulfing on the weekly candlestick, probably going to go up. So I bought some more emerging markets in my 401k. And that's it. That's what I've got for today. I'm looking for momentum. I'm looking for velocity. I'm looking for power. I'm looking for big up days, small down days, or weeks, and then that nice contraction down. I'm looking for that velocity and the momentum to go to zero, and then go back on up. I mean, it's that easy. It's just like physics. It's like flipping a coin. Max velocity off your finger. It reaches a point where it stops, where you have velocity equals 0, and then it reverses back down. We're looking for those reversal points, the contraction in the candlesticks, the big up days and the small down days, showing us that the buyers are in control. There's more power on the buyer side versus the seller side. So that's what we're looking for. A lot of these charts exhibit it, which means I think we're going to go up. I can't tell you the exact timing. You'd have to do this on if you're going to chart this out and try to day trade it, which I don't, that's super stressful. What you would do is you look at the weekly chart, you take a decade-long pattern, then you would zoom in and do a daily chart. Then you'd zoom in and do a daily chart on a weekly basis. Then you zoom in and do a minute chart on a day to find an exact bottom. If you guys really wanted to get a bottom of a bottom, that's how you would approach it. And again, from a physics standpoint, from a science standpoint, you can incorporate some of these things into your trading, and it will help you immensely. So hopefully this update gives you a little bit better idea of where we're at in the markets, and hopefully you gained a little bit better perspective on how to read these charts. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave any comments below, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.